Oh, we're here. We're very much here. Good evening, everybody. It's Ratsin. It is. Oh, look at. Well, hold on. Do the. I can't believe that
Let's
the
go.
video is out of sync. I swear I looked at this. Damn it. It should be like. Gotta used to be keyed in. All right, cool. Ava, thank you so much for the gifts. Oh, DrBossKey for the gifts up to Ava. That's how it goes. I'm looking at the capture, not chat. Outstanding. I am flustered to say the least. We got DrBossKey here, guys. He is currently on a Twitch hiatus. He is focusing on the game that we're going to play through tonight. So it's as it is right now. It looks to be an alpha right now. It's currently in development. So let's go bring in DrBossKey now. Let's bring him in on the chat. What is happening, DBK?
Hey, I'm doing great.
There you are. Is this thing on?
This thing is on.
Pre-alpha. Okay. I don't know game development talk. Now, let's call it public record. You do work in the gaming industry. We'll call it that, yeah?
I do. It's publicly disclosed I work for Epic Games, so I keep my day job and my streaming and content creation stuff separate, but I don't answer a lot of questions specifically about Fortnite or anything like that.
And I just want to lay that foundation. So you have experience in gaming. To be honest, I don't even know what the position is or even your experience with creating your own games. So
Yeah,
is this...
I've been in the game industry since '99. I worked on a boatload of Star Wars games over the course of my career.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and so currently my official title is I'm a lead producer. So basically, it just means that I help make everything come together and work. But I also get to have the honorary hats of doing design and UX, and I fill in a lot of the holes I have been over the years. And I've always wanted to be a game designer, developer. I've grown up playing games, and this has just been a lifelong passion to chase lots and lots of crunch mode, lots of hours because of the state of the industry. That is a little bit different these days as quality of life balances and side projects and things happen.
Okay, that's legit. Thank you for sharing that, dude. I know you have a very hard line with that, so I appreciate you sharing that. So I'll focus on the game itself. Like I said, I'll leave that to be more of the intro. How did the idea of this game come about?
For a lot of my friends out there on Twitch, as you have been so kind as to join the DrBossKey show, you have seen over the years at this point that I really have enjoyed making art and building content in the DrBossKey universe. So started with characters and boss monsters and then backstories, and those things had a home in my Twitch show. So those also became the animations. My cat is my sidekick, right, Loki. And I was looking around one day and I found this wonderful tool called SHMUP Creator. Shout out to him, and he's a fantastic fellow. And their whole shtick is, and you can look it up on Steam, it's very easy to see, but their whole shtick is to be able to make shoot 'em up games without any code. And while I can do logic scripting and I can read code a little bit and log files and things like that, I really wanted to have a tool that was just focused on being able to iterate quickly through design and then through art. And this tool has proven to do that. I'm about 1,000 hours in at this point on my second major prototype for that. And seeing that about 4 months ago, man, it's crazy how time flies. I then realized after I was playing with it a little bit, it's like, oh, hey, I have all of this wonderful IP that I've been working on in the DrBossKey universe. And I tell all these stories and animations, things like that as well. So I was like, maybe a manifestation of this could be essentially DrBossKey in essentially fighting these, I imagine this like kaiju forms, giant, while they're characters from a different format, they're now starting to take shape in this universe. And then the game now is helping fill in the cracks. So this is all of the DrBossKey IP rolling itself into one of my most favorite classic genres of games. I've been playing shooters for my entire life. I think I got started with Life Force on the NES, and it's just I periodically check in and spend time playing them. But the coolest thing about this at this point is that now that I'm way down the rabbit hole, 1,000 hours is quite a bit of time, my knowledge and experience of shmups is really starting to increase, and I've been playing a lot more shmups and really just reconnecting with that part of like my gaming nostalgia and history in a whole new way.
That's amazing, dude. There's a couple of things that resonate with me. So I don't know if a lot of the viewers even know of any of your IP at all, because I know you've been making characters, you have lore, you have I think you have, I think it's like private YouTube videos where you would do narration for your characters. You're making like a whole animated story about these characters, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. One of the things so I haven't finished my second short for animated short. It's a little bit long, so it's about 9.5 minutes. But the building blocks of that animated short that I've been jamming on for such a long time, I took a little break from it because of the games and everything. But if you look at like the title screen here in the background, that background, that's basically, his name is Grievous, and he's basically a demonic titan. And long ago, thousands of years ago, there was a pretty epic battle in this particular world. And the heroes of that story forced Grievous into slumber, so he actually fell down and then was put to sleep, because you really can't kill a crazy demonic titan. And so I imagined this while we were streaming. I was working on it, and I shared these animations as part of the DrBossKey show. And so now that is starting to paint the world inside of the DrBossKey SHMUP. So yeah, it's all tied together. And I'm probably going to do something that I didn't think I'd be doing, but for the folks here that played a bunch of Destiny, especially the first Destiny, they had this thing where they had their wiki, and everything led you back out to the wiki about lore and characters and things like that. I thought it was a silly joke, but at this point now, I think all the characters, all the monsters and things like that inside of the SHMUP, I'm essentially also starting to do narration lore and character storyboards and the animations and things like that. So I'm going to have this place where the game itself, the engine doesn't do video playback right now, but the engine it basically allows you to play. And then for people that really want to have more of that supplemental material, they can actually reach out and to the YouTube channel and other things and consume the things there as well.
Ooh, okay. Hey, you want to throw your YouTube? I don't know if it's a private channel or if you have a public thing or like a playlist. Throw it down in chat, dude. For real. I would love, yeah, that would be cool. So you said, so this is I don't want to call it a canned developing software. So you already have a shell that you're using elements to build a game from, right? You're not like just coding this from scratch. There's a,
that is correct.
Okay. And you said right now, if you're talking about playback, are you talking about adding cutscenes to add more to the story in a game if you wanted to?
Yeah, anyone that knows me, they pretty much realize that I'm old school. The more games talk in my face, the more bored I get. I'm going to have a little bit of story, but it's going to be more in the form of Super Mario Brothers, the princess in another castle. So it'll be scaffolding, and part of the world itself will be able to tell the story. But some of the animated shorts and things like that could be supplemental material.
Okay, so full and open transparency, I'm aware of your world, but I haven't ingested it, nor have I, like, all the videos you put out there on your Discord, I happen to be a member of, I haven't seen any of the gameplay, purposefully, in anticipation of tonight. So you're getting a fresh look at everything.
Yeah. So for the folks out there, right, in terms of, so game development is a very wonderful thing, right, in that it is freaking hard. It's easy, for instance, when you watch people that make Mario Maker levels, right? There's a whole subgenre of Mario Maker levels that are just insane. The skill gap is crazy insane, and people love to play those. They're super hard. It's easier to make things like that than it is to make something where what you intend as a designer is, our brains, the way that we work through games, right, is that it's kind of like a puzzle. And the more you play a game, the more you start to learn more aspects of the rules, and then you try, as most gamers do, you try to min-max the rules to your advantage, right? So being able to see someone play, and then just for the record, you're going to want to restart this at this point, because in the, I'll start in a second. But yeah, so Ratsin, basically you want to restart the game, because there is a bug in the engine right now that makes key bindings easy to change, and then if you reset them to default, they set back to the engine's default, but not the default that I have set for the game.
Nice, good on me. I tried to, I'm using
Yeah,
I'm using
I'm so crazy.
it's like a Logitech controller, but I wasn't picking up the controller
Shut up
inputs.
about it.
I know, you can't shut up about him.
It isn't picking up the controller inputs?
No, let me try and,
Oh, okay. I know for sure that my PlayStation controller and Xbox controllers work. It should be just plug and play.
all right, well, here, let me get my Switch controller, maybe that'll help too. You'll have to forgive me for doing a little multitasking. It's a good thing we're doing
Yeah,
this.
no worries. Yeah, so no, this is part of the experience. And yeah, if you can do it later, but if you want to,
Nope, we're good.
just drop me what you're. Oh, it is working now. Okay, perfect.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it's probably just this. It might be a live plug and play thing. It depends on how Windows and X2 will work together.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so to finish the thought, basically,
Yes,
the people that play with the thing you've designed for the very first time, you only get one. Like, it's finite, right? It's because the moment Ratsin starts playing, he's already starting to learn. And so every build from here on out that he ever plays, he already has conceptions. His brain is already starting to dial what those mechanics are, and now he's going to min-max his experience. So and what I'm trying to achieve here is, through the grace of being able to have wonderful folks like you, Ratsin, play the game, and I've been very, very humbled, lucky that I've got so much early playtesting. I'm trying to make a shooter that is not super crazy hard for the first few levels, and that is playable with an analog stick, because that's something that I personally enjoy. It's got some bullet hell elements, etc., but the idea is you're building up mechanics over time, and you only get a first. This is the first, so it's like we're getting married. I appreciate it.
And forever till death do us part. I guess well, all right, there's a couple things. I don't know why my screen is showing up like this, but it looks, if you intended to say resolution, it's getting cut off the screen here.
Yeah, so I've got, luckily, these are all known. Also with there's no ability with text to place a background behind the text to make it readable.
Oh, no, not even like shadowing on the letters or anything?
Nope, not yet. So,
wow.
But the good news is so one of the things I did, because I'm a producer by trade as well, I manage projects, lots of projects. So the developer, the main core developer, and this is a passion project of his as well. Everyone's got day jobs. No one's going to make golden bricks off of shooters at this point in their careers. People doing it are basically doing it for that kind of passion. Doesn't mean it's not, there's some things out there, but most people don't. Most gamers don't also really engage well with games like this. Like my son, he's 28. I can never get him into classic shooters. And so there's something just about it because of the way the flow state works. But I've written up a ton of stuff for him. So
yeah, they don't.
As in the developer.
I think you may have mentioned this before. I don't recall a lot of shmups being developed nowadays, or maybe I don't actively look for, because I think of them like Gradius days, where it's like it's fun for the first few stages, and then it's just ungodly hard. It's a challenge that I don't usually step up to. At least that's,
which is amazing because you're a speedrunner, but you have a modern utility of being able to have your immediate checkpoints. You're kind of, as you're speedrunning like the randomized Mega Man games, right? That is very much in your wheelhouse, but it means that shmups also need to capture you in a different way, right?
yeah, they're all auto-scrollers, basically. If it's arcade style, you've got a few lives, you're like, that's the end of that. Anyways,
and shmups, they call it the Gradius syndrome, right? Which is that you build up all your weaponry, and then you just get obliterated, and then now you have to start over again. So I'm purposely designing with that to avoid some of that in mind.
Okay. It looks like you have question marks at the end of each prompt, too.
That's new in one of the latest builds.
Okay.
I'm going to take a note about that. I'll write that to the developer.
Okay, I'm gonna ask chat, how does audio sound? Because I'm going to keep I like to keep the settings as they are, but I want to make sure you hear DBK just fine. If my volume's good, certainly when we get to the game of the sound effects and stuff, well,
good.
If it's just, yeah. So just holler if it sounds off, but I think we're ready to get to it. All right, like I said, this is completely new, so I'm ready. Let's do it.
I'm nervous. This is great.
All right, cool. All right.
And same thing to chat. Anyone, feel free to write anything. I got a question.
Please.
We're all doing it together. If you have any questions, please let me know.
All right, cool. I like the movement. I'm curious about the cat. One thing I thought of, and hopefully this screen doesn't time out. The one thing I wanted to mention, we've been on that title screen for a long time, and the music was playing. So you want to share where the music is coming from, what your goals are with the music in the game?
Yeah, there's an artist. Her name is Chip Zell, and I discovered her, I don't know, probably 12 years ago, and she embodies basically my love of electronic music and chiptune, so classic chiptune style game music. And the way that she puts things together really resonates with me. So I'm hoping to license her tracks and get the stems perhaps, and then I have my audio artist that can remix the tracks. So right now it's temporary and it's just flavor, but that's the origin of the music. You can find her tracks on YouTube. And the nice thing is she hasn't put up a DMC takedowns. I mean, it's all obviously copyrighted music.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Of course, I have to look back because that's how good a streamer I am. If she is comfortable with streaming this particular game, if you've had conversations with her, then cool. Otherwise, I could reach out to her after the fact and say, hey, look, stream this game. It has your music in it. Is it all right if I keep it, or do you want me to take it down? I could do that as well.
Yeah, no, I think you're fine in this case. I have had a few informal conversations, and the idea, I'm working on kind of a licensing deal with her anyways.
Okay. Oh, don't hit the cat. Okay. 10,000. Okay. Keys. Oh, okay. Keys to unlock the level. Oh, tutorial dojo. Like it.
Better Ratsin, I am not a real doctor, although the reason why, so back in the old days, there were these things called arcades, and I really loved arcades, and often when you were in arcades, you would get high scores, and then you would have initials for high scores. So I took DOC as my initial, and that's not my middle name, but that was to represent my doctrine in video game development, because at this point I've spent my entire life playing video games, but also since 1999 making games at this point. Yeah, and that was half the origin of where DrBossKey came from. Doctor for that, and then Boss because I love bosses in all games because they're a big test, and then Key because the key is basically an evergreen symbol of puzzle logic and interactive game bits, and comes from Zelda. So yeah, it's all mixed together.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm engage weapons.
So
okay.
Yeah, so the tutorial level, this is all going to get scrapped at some point and rebuilt because it's got issues. We're trying to teach you bits.
Oh, okay. Rapid fire does lower damage. Okay. Alright, so oh, okay, so this is just a combination. Bottom weapon is charged up, hold down the button, and it does higher damage. Wait, am I missing something? Oh! Oh, that's cool. Okay. Beating enemies raise your super gauge, speaking of which, super weapon gauge power up, okay.
Super weapon online.
Is that you? Super weapon online.
That's me.
Nice.
Super weapon online.
Yeah, it's the little things that make me happy. Alright. Holy hell. Wow, nice. Okay.
So I'm trying to teach it, but when you press the super weapon button, you have to hold it down.
Okay.
I've got a fix coming that will also allow you, so once you tap it, it'll discharge your whole super weapon.
Super weapon gives you a couple seconds of invincibility, cancels enemy opponents. Use it to save yourself.
A happy accident that I found that you could shoot dialogues, and the way that I constructed them, I basically turned them into enemies.
If your ship destroys, weapon reset the previous set. So is it that the weapons... There's 3 particular builds, or is it any potential combination that you can have your upper weapon be one thing, your lower weapon be another?
Yeah, very good question. So in this particular case, there are weapon sets, and a weapon set includes basically your top weapon, your bottom weapon, and then your auto fire middle weapon. And every time you have a power up, it increases each weapon set. There's 14 weapon sets in the game so far.
Okay, cool.
I would love to be able to upgrade the top and bottom weapons independently and mid, but I don't have the tech for that right now. I did put in a feature request, so that's how I originally envisioned it.
Nice. Mr. I guess give my hand at a 35-year-old. Easy too. Nitney, if I ever played a game like this, not on Atari, probably Gradius. That's latest title I can think of. This is obscure. Maybe DPK knows this. Soul Feast on the Sega CD.
Yeah, I know Soul Feast.
I love that soundtrack. That's a great game.
It was a great game. Not that we had a lot of Sega CD games back then, but also one of my most favorite turn-based tactical strategy RPGs of its time was called Dark Wizard. That really blew my brain as a kid.
Huh.
And they used the Sega CD. They had basically full motion anime video.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like Sewer Shark kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, similar.
Okay. This world is beautiful, haunted, and out of balance. It is good that we're here. Take this and let's hunt.
That's Zayflin, by the way. That's our streaming friends day.
Oh, nice.
Super weapon online.
Alright. Super weapon. Let's get it. Weapon stripper.
There isn't a pole that comes with it, I promise.
There's a what?
There isn't a pole that comes with it, I promise.
So take it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying take it. It is red. Take it only at your own peril if you want.
Yeah, I know, right? That's game design. If it's red, don't handle it.
That's a brand new feature, by the way. So I'll just put that in. This is here.
So as the
And it, by the way. Go ahead. What was that?
I said as the animation goes right now, so you're just like, using a few frames like
Yeah,
that.
it's old school sprite sheets, and
Yeah.
and because I'm using high resolution art, I also need to keep the amount of frames down to a minimum. So it's also kind of the style. So
Okay, cool. Pacifist trigger.
that's what the weapon stripper does. Is it takes away all your weapons, and then asks you to survive. And if you survive, then you get better weapon choices at the end.
Oh, cool.
Let's come back and give it a try. Again, you have a super weapon.
See, that's a symptom of me playing Buster only. I always want to use the base weapon. See, Niddy could attest to this. It's always like Final Fantasy stuff where it's like you have the special weapons, you have mega elixirs or whatever, and I just never use them. Just never use them throughout the entire playthrough.
And when it comes to items, I'm the same way. I hoard it, and again, you never know. That's the thing with exploring games. You don't ever, like I said, we're gonna like get really weird, and you're gonna need all those health potions. So try to ease up on it a little bit more. But yeah, it means I finish games.
Holy crap.
So this guy is Srivanix. He's basically a sea titan. He's the spawn of a sea god and a titan.
I love this music. Holy crap.
Yeah, the ship sells me.
Mortis.
Yeah, we're not gonna Mortis yet.
Mortis.
Good that it's a
Yeah, it's
homing.
been fun watching your out of fires.
Oh. Oh, super weapon is ready. And goodbye. Oh, I like the damage features. Oh, you have multiple meters. That's unfortunate. Okay. That was a once and done. Oh no. The dodging is real.
It says, at DrBossKey, when you first started learning coding development, did you download open source games to practice building levels and such, i.e. Flappy Bird code, for making a basic Mario 1 through 3 level? Yeah, Nit, that's a very good question. So I actually started back with, what was it called, World? Was it World Machine or Worldcraft? It was World Machine, and it was basically Valve's engine. And I started prototype Counter-Strike levels, because I was really into playing Counter-Strike back in the day. So for anyone that's aspiring out there that wants to get into game development, now is a fantastic time. With engines like Unreal or Unity, you can get so much further than you could in the past, just because you can cobble together code and features and frameworks. But yeah, I recommend, and when I got started, it was learning from communities and how to script and make maps and work in 3D. And that over the years, working with Unity 3D for a long time, there I was really enjoying a little bit of light coding and C# side of things, but also the fact that there were plenty of developers that were making finite state machines, so you could really get quite a bit done with basically state machine scripting.
So in your channel, you shared somebody had, I guess they were working with like Unreal Engine and how to build a whole scene very quickly for reasons I don't understand. Is it for like aspects like that if you watch videos on Unreal Engine or building your own world, you're like, yeah, you can build your own world in like a few hours? And has there just been that kind of improvement very recently that there's like, I guess like a wall that's been struck down that it's so much easier for people to have access to now?
Yeah, what we're seeing now is, and this especially the last few years, we're seeing amazing strides when it comes to generated worlds, generated art. It comes from like the rogue fight or the rogue experiences as well, where there's a lot more randomization. And these techniques have been around for a long time, but we're starting to see those are the things that was beautiful about Valheim, is that being part of the world and the fact that it was generated each time you started a new playthrough is really cool because it gives you enough variety. A lot of great game development comes down to systematizing, creating systems that work together to create experiences you wouldn't necessarily discover on your own. You can handcraft experiences, but when you see all these systems working together, it creates things where there are more personalized and unique experiences to the gamers. So I personally have really been enjoying watching the space. I'm very deep into AI art generation right now, which is really cool. With
Oh yeah, dude, put that link out there. That's crazy. God.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. You can explain what you want on that or finish your point, because I do have a follow-up based on that AI generated art.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but mainly the point is that, like, for instance, I've started using Midjourney and Stable Diffusion I brought it into my art pipeline to help me define and express early concept. Back in the old days, working with a concept artist meant that you have to do lots of revisions to get your idea out to the artist. The artist does some revisions, and then it's a process, and you can only go so far with that. And now, the same thing that would have taken weeks, if not longer, to concept really cool like landscapes, or characters, or shapes, or form. Now I can explore and kick out so much more concept art that I can use as a bridge now to speak with my artists. And so now we are in a process where I can generate so much more concept art to really rapidly iterate through ideas in a way that was never possible up until really where we're at now. Ratsin, we are absolutely in the middle of a renaissance. We are in a modern renaissance right now with art through these AI-generated experiences, Dolly, Stable Diffusion, and things like that, for sure.
I guess I think you answered my question as far as like what you do with that AI-generated art. You're using it as a conduit for new ideas, which I think is maybe, I don't know, my humble opinion of the best approach with it right now, because people could get away with like just straight AI generated stuff, and that's good, but like I think if you have a mix of the human element and inspiration just by, I don't know, what the computer can craft really quickly, then I think it's just the best of both worlds. That's speaking for somebody who's a bit of an old school guy. So I'm like, well, AI is there, we should utilize it. But so like a sub point of just Nittany, you were saying I can't wait for AI music. It's already here, dude. Look up Nick Nocturnal. He does like metal review videos. There's already AI generated metal out there, and he was reviewing it. You see some of them, he's like, I cannot believe this is made by a bot. Like, it actually sounds good, and it was haunting him because like live music, it's over. He has a very, I wouldn't call it a negative approach, but he's a little fearful of it, that it's like, oh, it's here, and we're like, it's live music is done. Like, what does it matter? We're gonna get taken over by the bots.
Yeah, I think just because it can doesn't mean it's, some of it's really good, but there's still a curation step. And I think, and then there's an expression step. Like, AI has a hard time when it comes to large amounts of context, right? When you look at like the GPT-3 language models, like AI Dungeon, things like that, we're getting much better for sure. But what a human understands contextually and what they can produce, there's still an art form there. I think AI generation is there's certainly a lot of that I think people will be fine with, especially when we talk about generated audioscapes and things like that, for sure. But I think that, and there very well could just be that AI starts to become a bridge for personal experiences, and that they're all generative at that point. And so as we all get better at working with AI, I think the outcomes are that at the end of your work with AI is that now you have a body of work that you've actually created. So one of my crazy, weird, like, future ideas is that I really want to take I watched the brain mapping, basically, where we have non-invasive brainwaves, or looking at there's the implant side of that as well. And at some point, because of the way that we have AI generation for imagery, we also are starting to get to the point where AI is understanding language. And the bridge between understanding language, and when you think about language, or you think about imagery, or you think about things in your mind in terms of those models, I really want to see a version where you wear your non-invasive brain cap, you go to bed, and when you dream, your dream monologue, both the language that you dream in and also the visuals, then gets scanned by the AI generative algorithm, and then you wake up to a personalized subconscious art expression, right? And if you do this throughout your life, now we are leaving bodies of work in this context that express us in ways that we never thought of. And this is something that you can achieve from this mixture between AI and human creativity.
Wow.
Brain exploding, right?
Yeah. There's a reason I just stopped moving on screen. I was like, I gotta fucking listen to this.
Yeah, totally.
Man.
That's like I said, going back to it, right, is that we're in the middle of a renaissance, and artificial intelligence is still, look, like, everyone throws it around. This is very cute. Old school guy, right? And especially being gamers, we've all played games forever, right? There are rudimentary forms of AI, and a lot of it's still faking and trickery. There's no real sentient intelligence to that yet. But there's the way that we, and I think especially in the last 5 years or so, the way that we're able to train AI on big data sets, big data models, and that AI can start to recognize things like, oh, a cat in all of these 300 different forms. I know that's a cat, and these are the context for that images, for that imagery.
Yeah.
And that is something that is quite remarkable. I don't think it's going away. I think that the genie's out of the box, and that's why we're in the middle of a modern renaissance.
Oh man.
It says brain pause.
Oh man. Yeah, brain pause, exactly. Analytics. That's what it was like. I could talk to DrBossKey for hours.
Yeah, time. We're here.
That's right. Okay, so a handful of things. I like what? Okay, so I like you were talking about like sprite sheets, right? Throughout most of this game, or entirely from this game. So like the first boss, I like seeing the decay of the physical shape. I love that stuff. Either that or like the telltale like the shades of red, so you have some indication. I think the bar of health works. You could even get away without the bar health even.
I think the thing with the mid boss is, so the way I wound up building it is it's kind of like it's like an onion if you think about it. So each skin is essentially an image in front, or each layer is in front of the previous or the layer underneath. And so as you're damaging the boss, I basically then destroy those images so you can see the ones underneath, and they're all perfectly aligned at that point. And
Okay.
One of the side effects of having this sort of lateral damage that I found is that the final form is the most damaged version. And then that one actually flashes when you attack it with bullets like normal enemies do. But so in the version that I have currently, because I don't want you to do physical damage. Oh, actually, maybe I have a way to solve that. I'm taking a note. But I really want the boss to be able to flash. But because the boss can't flash for those upper layers, which I'll need to take a look at now, that's why I have the health bar there, because the health bar reinforces that you're at least making progress. It also gives you the ability to understand how effective your weapons are.
Yeah.
So what's your objection to the health bar? Is it the multiple stacking layers of the health bar?
I'm just saying that because you have a visual way to show that you are hurting him, it does take me back to like old school Nintendo SNES or whatever, where it's just like, this boss has a hell of a lot of HP. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I must be doing something, so I'm going to keep at it. It's like icing on the cake to have a bar of health, because it gives me a visual sense of, okay, I should make a risky maneuver here or not. But I don't know. I'm just saying, you may not need it because you're showing physical ways of lowering the boss's health visually. If it was just one sprite the whole time, I would say yeah. But the fact that you're showing its decay throughout, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of a visual cue. So this being the, I'm sorry.
No, please.
I think it was the second stage, or this was, oh, the big guy in the middle. That was just the mid boss.
That was just the mid boss.
Oh shit!
And then you got to the end of the level where you fought the Fortress of Flesh, is what I'm calling it.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh wow, I don't know why I thought it was like, oh, it's the second level, so we still have the same background and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was questioning if it was going to be the same background the whole time, and it was just like a seamless stage the whole time.
Oh, wow. I wish that. I'd love to do that. Although it creates some fatigue for you as well. On the shooter side of things, my levels are probably about 2.5 times longer than most shooters. So it's pacing wise, I have some concerns about that, but I've been working through it.
None that I don't really worry so much about pacing, because it's already, I think like enemy spread is good. You don't rely on a particular kind a lot. I think you rotate throughout each of the characters. Okay, I'll say it this way. So Mega Man aficionado, right? That's my jam. So when I played Mega Man 11, I noticed, I was like, damn, these feel longer, because I've played 10 other games. And I started to see the saving icon that's like a checkpoint. I'm like, oh wow, there's 2 checkpoints to the stage. That's crazy. That's a new thing. And I was like, okay, so now that I'm aware of it, I can be used to it. So maybe I'm speaking more to my inexperience with shmups to say that didn't feel long to me, because there was a lot going on, and it didn't feel like enemy saturation was so much that there was like a particular obstacle that I couldn't overcome. And it was just like, oh yeah. I guess what threw me for a loop, that the big guy with the health bar, I thought that was a regular boss. That was just a mid boss. So that's what threw me off. I was like, oh, so to me it felt like 2 different stages. So I have to keep that in mind.
Totally. No, I definitely appreciate that. I think that in terms of level length, these are probably the longest levels I'll do. I may do some shorter ones too, depending on what the nature of the level is. But part of it too is trying to keep enough things to keep you engaged so you don't get bored. I don't want to build like a Euro shmup where I want you to look at the background because it's all beautiful. And sometimes shmups do that, but that's also just not the type of game sensibility that I have, nor the type of game I want to play either.
Okay. The other thing too, and I didn't really recall because I was listening to saying stuff about computers and my brain was blowing up. Was there music through the last boss?
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
There is a lull in the middle of after you finish the mid boss where it gets quiet and you just have ambience.
Quiet ambience, and then like I guess the second track, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just didn't even notice it. So the fact that I'm flying around here is completely silent. I was like, wait, did music just stop? You know how music would just continuously loop? We reach the end of it, but I guess we didn't. So
a little piece of my own OCD is that I hate listening to tracks back to back to back. So I'd rather have quiet or have some kind of remix before I just subject you to basically a looping track.
Okay, so that was just level 1, yeah?
Also, I don't think I saw you die at all. Did you die?
No, not yet.
Yeah, you were rocking it. But you got those old school Twitch skills, so.
I try. Okay, level 2, here we go.
All right, here we go. I'm going in.
I'm going in. Ooh. So wait, these are your backgrounds?
Mm-hmm. Yep, all my art.
Wow.
We just finished level 2 art.
Oh, you're... Oh, holy shit. Is that me? Am I doing it?
That's your spore drive.
My spore drive. Holy hell. I'm not used to countering with weapon hell. That's cool. Or bullet hell, I should say.
I think you're also using the D-pad, right?
Yeah.
Which I expect. And given the type of game you want, so all good.
Oh, you can blow... Okay. You can blow them up. Oh, it's a proximity thing. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Oh, that's a tree boy. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this guy just finished the art work.
I am no tree. I am. So all the sounds are part of the, what would you call it, the program? Are these drums?
Yeah, so it's all replaceable. So sound design is completely different. Right now, I've got a sound design lined up on the board. That wants to call me.
Yeah, this is a nice weapon. It just melts the branches. Okay. See, this is, I think, you know what? I guess maybe the only time I've had bullet hell experience is Cuphead. That's recent experience.
Man, Cuphead's so hard.
I love Cuphead. It's like one of my favorite games ever.
That's fantastic, man. I love the art style, for sure. Yeah, and they just crank it up to 11.
Wow. What the hell is that? I feel like I'm not giving... I feel like I'm not giving it enough credit. You're like, oh, here's the sprite belt. Oh, you destroyed it already. Alright, here we go. Okay, there's an opportunity. Ah!
Yeah, nice bob and weave there. Still working on the states there. I just got those in squeeze, and I got a couple bugs.
What do we got here? Hey, Kess.
Yay, it's Cassandrian! Hey, hey, hey!
Cassandrian. Ooh. Aw. I guess it was all about it. I haven't learned enough about what each of the letter means because I'm like, oh, a power-up, and I just arbitrarily grab it.
It's good to grab power-ups.
Alright, so here, for example, is this the lull you're talking about before the track repeats? Because it's... Oh, okay, here it is. It just came back.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there I have a little bit of space there. So music is design is temporary, so this is just...
Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, we're getting rocked.
Got a little bit more teeth.
Ooh, nice.
So this is a legion of vampires that were basically Cerebus, the Titan. These vampire warlords were essentially, they came to serve Cerebus. And so he and his priest staked them down and at dawn cast a spell on them as they were burning alive from the sun vampire and encased them in stone. And so now they're undead alive, if you will, stone forms, and then he uses them to do battle basically. It was the kind of stuff that floats around my brain.
I like that lore, that's cool. I think... Oh, dude. And just like you said, like you're trying to minimize lag because you have a lot of stuff on screen. It is flowing pretty nicely right now.
Yeah, the engine's pretty great. There's a couple of more optimizations that I'm starting to push it, that the developer's going to do, especially with the soul bits, the green bits that fly into you.
Whoa. Oh, that's cool. I love these weapon sets. Is this... Okay, only because I don't know shmups. Did you take these weapon combination or weapon sets from other games that exist in this?
These are all my designs. These are things that I found I enjoy and that are expressed in this game. I mean, spread shots and things like that exist in other games, of course, but yeah, these are all my designs.
No, I'm just not used to seeing like a omnidirectional shot like this. It's just cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you have the worm rings around you that also do damage. So those for things for bullets that take damage, or like the bats in this case, it's great for things like that.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, there it is. We finally died. Oh, he's like throwing out swords. That's wild. Okay. Oh, dude.
A lot of these things I dream of before I go to sleep. It sounds like fun, and then I figure out if I can get into the game.
Wait, what was that?
I said a lot of these attacks, like those giant swords,
yeah.
I dream of before I go to sleep, and then I imagine them, and I usually then drop them down, and then I figure out if I can get them in the game, in the engine.
That's great.
Cedrian says, so DBK, are you concerned that Ratsin will do something unexpected that'll crash the game? Actually, the engine's pretty stable. We've had a lot of playtesting, and I'm quite surprised. So, no, not really.
Ooh, I like the ship damage too. I just noticed that too. That's
okay, cool. The bullet holes. There's a feature being worked on in the engine where as your health points or your hull points go down, I can add battle damage indicators, so like smoke and fire to your ship to give you a better understanding of like how close to explode you are.
Now everyone's thinking I'm going to crash the game.
Better Ratsin. Pretty stable. 30 minutes into the game. More.
Level 3. Here we go. I'm having a lot of fun. This is cool.
Well, that's awesome. I apologize in advance for what's going to happen to you in this level.
Okay.
So every level has less play testing. So that means they're newer, and as a result, they have more issues. So all the art here is temporary. The good news is you see in the background.
Okay.
And we're also, this is a more encapsulated, very kind of Gradius style design for the world.
Yeah, where the layout of the level is important too. Oh god.
Yep. Oh, Ratsin's focused now. Look at that.
Sure am.
He's got his focus on.
That's right.
He's flying hard.
Oh, that's not good.
But Ratsin says, Ratsin also says his knees are pretty stable. Pretty stable knees. Hobble it along.
Oh.
You can tell I'm much meaner in this level.
Yeah, that's some thin spaces. Now, the default weapons that are showing up, was that intended for each of the levels, or is it just luck that I'm getting this weapon in this area right now?
Oh, no, because you haven't died a lot, your weapon sets are much closer to the final weapon sets. And the normal, and every time you die, you lose one weapon.
Oh, okay.
A little punishment, not too bad. I didn't want to take the Gradius side of things and just reset you to 0. By the way, the skeletons shuffling forward, their bones being thrown in the air, that's way more lewd than I expected. I didn't design it that way, but it's pretty funny.
I thought they were just like throwing aspects of their or something at them. Like it's
Yeah,
weird. Like...
sure. That works for me. I'm not gonna say what other people have discovered that they think it is. It's definitely PG-13.
Okay, don't know. Oh, it was the ceiling. I didn't see. Oh no. Okay, yep. Oh, I don't have a special weapon? Lit. Okay, we're gonna bust around like
Mortis.
yeah, Mortis, yeah. For sure. And this and oh, okay. No problem. Up.
Skeleton boner down there.
Yeah, look at him doing he's doing calisthenics. Good.
He's just trying to get his abs going.
Yeah, this close quarter stuff is rough.
I really want to do so the cool thing is that the art, one of the things I'm going to do is, once my artist gets to it, we're going to retool the art to be more prominent, so you can understand like the shadow areas on which you can go and that it's actually dangerous. So it's a little bit harder to do. Game design is learning a lot of like design language visually and of course mechanically. So I've been learning a ton as I really want to have this style of level in the game, but I didn't want to have every level be like that.
I think what threw me off too, and that's just a matter of shmup experience, is like when I throw out my own bullet hell kind of stuff, it's hard keeping track of that's a good bullet versus that's a bad bullet. But I know that like color is a big part of it. So it's just might be something I have to get used to.
Yeah, I'm still contemplating doing a sweep over all the player weapons to unify their colors in the yellow spectrum perhaps. All of the enemy attacks that are generally bad are usually red. There are a few exceptions like the bones here, they're kind of pink and sparkly. But yeah, just massive sweeps, and you input things, and then you realize you go back and then wind up tweaking them. So these backgrounds are from my animated work.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, I like this fire animation. That looks cool. I don't know what the hitbox is. Oh. Okay. All right. Wow, I like the fire rings. That's cool.
Yeah, I really enjoy the way this turned out.
Yeah, that's like a very 3D looking projectile. It's cool.
Yeah, pretty much all the tech art is done by me. So it's all a journey. So I'm never happy with my art, but there's no one else, so I got to do it.
Yeah, it's just I guess you were talking about the engine as much as you were like, this is crazy smooth.
Oh yeah, it's a great engine. The guy is old school, so all the things you would do to allow the amount of projectiles on screen. And on lower end PCs, I'm certainly making the PCs cry a little bit, so I've been optimizing for that, along with the developer. But yeah, it's very playable.
Thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate it. 27 months?
Yeah. Dude, that was a 6-month sub. I love you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know it's pretty rare for someone to sub and then thank you the other way around.
Oh no.
Oh no, he's gonna... Oh. Yeah, my artist, he's also a mechanical engineer, so it drives him nuts when he's like, it doesn't make sense that the undead sea dragon basically throws its scales at you. How about we do them in smaller broken up pieces because we have damage states? And then I tell him gently, I'm like, it doesn't have to always make sense.
Ooh, nice lighting effect. When you go in front of the light, it dims. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's actually a 3D engine built on top of an open source engine called the Ogre engine. And then the main developer did the UI layer, of course, and is building its own shmups with the tool set.
Oh man, the focus mode is real. Okay.
Cedrian says, oh hey, I know this, guys. Yeah, so my starting point is I went back to all of these classic games like Castlevania Symphony Night, one of my favorite ones, right? And to learn the engine, I basically went and found the sprite rips that people have done. Everyone's ripped all the classic games. And then I tech-harded sprite sheets into the engine as a basis for things that excited me, of course, but also as a proof of concept learning. So I'm slowly replacing those, but I'm still doing that. So yeah, so those demon guys that come out of the pit, those are from Castlevania since the the skeletons here are mine at this point. Obviously, Gondas is mine, the guy sitting on the back throne. This is kind of an homage to a fighting game ring.
Yeah, very Shao Kahn-like. Alright, nice. We got the back to spread. I like this is like an enemy boss, like an enemy boss rush. It's cool. You get to revisit everything again. Because I'm assuming this is the final fight, or is this the fight of the stage?
This is just the side of the stage. Let's see.
Okay, alright. Ooh, purple flame. Taking it. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, okay, we got the meteors back. Okay. Oh, okay. Don't. Okay. Oh, okay.
Got some pressure. Alright, though. Keeping it together.
Try it. I'm trying. Oh, try it.
You also have a block.
Was this music track played already? Or am I losing my mind again?
No, it's
So, when you get to the main game, do you intend on having finite continues, infinite continues, a way to change number of lives per play?
We're going to do, at this point, I don't have the ability to change the amount of lives, and I don't have difficulty levels either. There's another way I can hack around it, but so far, the plan is that I'm going to do the kind of Contra, the old school Contra route, where I'll probably just give you 30 lives. I'll give you 3 continues, and so that gives you quite a bit. Currently, the score system also provides quite a few additional lives, but the problem you have with that is not as you get better, you don't really need more lives, so it's more counterintuitive. Good, check him out, he's crouching.
Oh, okay. That was just the level exploding. Okay. I was like, wait, do I have to dodge all this? Okay. So, I'm sorry, you were saying 30 lives?
Yeah, 30 lives, 3 continues.
Oh shit, which one did I like most? Not Ring Warp. I think it's this one. Oh, this will do just fine. This will do just fine.
This is the first version of the game I've seen where I've really increased the projectile sizes to make you feel like you have more presence. So
it's even more power too, even if it's like a weak weapon. Then that's fine.
Mostly trying to do utility for playstyle as opposed to straight making things stronger as you progress through the weapons.
Oh,
Somebody who doesn't want a bunch of demons that fly out of a giant, huge chest.
Alright, okay, this is the fight of the level. Okay, so I can't tell if this is meant to be the final boss. It certainly looks like it. I was just curious if a boss theme should be final game-ish. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a level song? I don't know. It's just a weird personal preference.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, music is all, and that's a very good point, but yeah, music is all temporary. But yeah, there'll be boss thematic music. So one of the things I have that's interesting, creative challenge is that levels are longer, tracks need to be more dynamic and be able to fill that space. But that all needs to be designed. And music and sound effects are usually one of the last things that really come online.
No, of course. You want to get concepts down.
Just banging. That's awesome.
Hey.
Oh, look at that! Look at that crazy dodge.
Come on, there we go.
I've only seen really one other person play this class fight so far. This wasn't even a thing 2 weeks ago.
Oh, sweet. I love this multi-phase climbing up the body. It's got one reference point is an Octopath Traveler, so like the super boss there was like multiple parts. So that I think that's an homage to apparently FF6. I think there's supposed to be like a multi-stage boss there at the end.
I've got the Octopath Traveler on the list for sure. I haven't played it yet, but I definitely want to.
Oh, dude, I adore that game. DNK Cafe is playing through it too. I think he's playing it ahead of that too. And he's like, I love this game, but it's like, dude, trying to get Nitty to go through it too. So, alright, so let me go back to that question again. So, Contra, you said 30 lives?
30 lives, 3 continues. Yep.
Alright, so you're just like giving him the Konami code straight off the bat with 3 continues.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I want to err on the side of, for the more casual side of folks that want to play and experience everything, there's no reason not to. For the more hardcore folks that really want to do it on like one credit clear, more traditional, the challenge is still there.
I was gonna say
I
you
personally,
you could change the difficulty if you needed to.
I don't have any hooks right now into the engine to change it in a good way without creating a ton of like extra work to do it. But it's on the list for sure.
Okay.
I really like these seeking like tendril attacks.
Oh no 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 no! Come on come on come on come on! Oh, so close.
Oh,
Got
so
him.
close. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Mortis, that's right. Level complete. Oh, it's the first time we got a level complete banner. I hadn't seen that at all.
Yeah, I got there's a couple bugs with it. Okay, so this is the first challenge level. So this level's, hey, I'm not using the same kind of designs to essentially introduce enemies. Now I'm kind of like, let me pull the curtain back a little bit and see if I can create something a bit more at my skill level. So one of the things that I found at this point, and feel free to go through all the weapon plates and check the weapons, and you should be checking your top and bottom weapons. You haven't pressed the bottom button weapon in about 6 months.
In about 6 months.
There
Yeah,
you
you're
go.
right.
There you go. Look at that thing. Oh my god, that's a brand new
6
weapon.
months. Yeah, that's something I could have used. A dir.
So from the upper left, that's the stock version, your very beginning, so from the plate. And so each of these is one of the ways that I set up like your weapon choices. So it's top, mid, and bottom. And then when you go to the far right side of the screen, that's going to start the level. So feel free to explore and just see what your weapons do here. Cedric says, that is something you need to be aware of when testing. You and your team will have been playing this repeatedly throughout development, so it'll be a lot easier for you than anyone else picking up. Yeah, exactly, Cedric. Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't touch the levels and the levels that I've been playtesting now unless I'm fixing bugs. Or if I'm adding a dynamic layer, so I have some dynamic enemy spawns based on whether or not you can stream clear a certain area, and that's been a lot of fun to explore.
This is a great weapon, this one. That was a great one. One thing I would say, if this is like a challenge level, whether you can get to this from the overworld or coming from, okay, I guess there was no prompt to go back to the overworld. If this was meant to be like a, hey, explore the levels, explore the weapon sets and see which ones you like most, maybe maybe not have them go away when you choose them, just in case you're like, oh man, I actually want to go back to this one.
Yeah, let me see. I might be able to do something about that. I don't think I can do it infinitely, but there might be something I can do about that.
Holy shit.
I'm also not sure if it's a BFM. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. A buddy of mine was playtesting. He's like a missile that shoots out and does that thing.
Yeah, that's spore stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure if because they're challenge levels, I'm still using this as a way for you to choose like all these weapons, but I might remove this from final.
Holy hell.
Or just.
That's cool. Oh, that's a cool effect. Alright. Oh yeah, this guy. This is a great one. Gatling spread.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that.
Oh yeah, this was a good one too. Alright, nice laser. Okay. 180 ripple. Oh no, this is my least favorite one. Here we go.
And the 180 ripple just because it doesn't have much utility, or do you think?
I mean, it has utility, I think. So, alright, I'll say it this way. I just happen to get weapons by happenstance, I think, throughout most of the levels. So the really tight quarter one, where we were in a cave, this weapon works great because there's some enemies that are behind you and you can clear them that way. My opinion of weapons like this, if you're not in an area where it's not immediately useful, I feel like half of its utility is gone. So I'm like, okay. So, and then I think, okay, well, certainly it's meant to be front and back. So if the back's not being utilized, then I can only use some offense to it, and like the ring may not be as powerful as other weapons that are out there. So I'm like, okay. So I sit there and go, okay. So I feel like it's a more weakened weapon, but maybe it isn't. It's got some unique utility meant for certain situations, but it would never be my first choice coming into like straight level.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
All right, cool. Does the super weapon meter go away on death?
It does.
Okay. He asks on the challenge level.
I could make it not do that, but I feel like you have some penalty.
No, that's fine. Oh, we're back on this. Okay. Alright, so you mentioned the challenge level, so I didn't know if it was like a secret boss, so I guess this is like a Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10 challenge level, where this is longer than usual. We're gonna throw more enemies at you.
Yeah.
Is there a finite end to it, or is it just like a
Oh yeah,
survival?
no, it's about the same length of levels. So you can,
Oh, okay.
enjoy. Try your bottom weapon, guys.
I know. I always forget about the bottom weapon.
Your bottom weapon is about 3 times stronger than your normal top weapon. So
Of
for the
course.
slightly tankier weapon, enemies, it helps out there. So.
That's a buster only thing. Oh, that's weird. For some of the weapons, I was able to fire bottom and top at the same time, but I can't do it with this one.
It's either or. I think partly what we were seeing is that all the projectiles in flight, the other one can trigger.
Huh, okay. Please die. Please die. Please die. Ooh, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You can tell we kicked it up a couple notches.
Oh, back to tree beard. Oh, okay. That's a lot. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh!
More this.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Stay to the right here, and the big guy
this,
can't
this
get
afternoon I basically updated all the art for this boss. Or for
Ooh,
the tree.
this is a new guy.
He's also from.
Really?
No, actually, I think he started Art Circle of the Moon. One of the two. I forget. A lot of counts.
I should have popped a super weapon. That's buster only in me. That's where that's coming from.
Yeah, so one of my dreams, absolute dreams, I want to basically build a Metro shooter with like a decently deep upgrade system. So that has exploration elements, bullet hell. And I originally tried to do that with the engine.
Okay, okay. Yep, we are not talking right now. We are playing the game. That's what we're doing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, totally considering. Yeah, I spent a good 200 hours building it, so I had a prototype of it. So some of the things like this Skull Lord boss, which Skull Lord is from Castlevania Symphony Night, that I originally prototyped him in that context. So I pulled him over into this slightly more traditional show. But yeah, that's if I had my druthers, that's.
Oh. Yay, we did it, yay. Okay, level complete. Another one.
I don't know if it's going to progress to the next one or not. Oh, okay. So I got one other. I've still got bugs, but.
Metroidvania shooter. That's what yeah, I heard you saying that. Shutterstar, what's going on? Don't forget to raid, make a Belmont. Yeah, 2 hours left to stream it. Okay, he's doing a charity marathon.
Oh, okay, so it did take you to the next level. Cool. All right, so this is challenge level 2. This is like just a couple days old.
Okay, where is it? This one?
You like the Frost Barrage, I think.
Yes, I do. Off we go.
That one right there. There you go.
Like, there's no shot there. Off we
More
go.
of this.
How do you handle the exploration component of Metroidvania in a shooter? I'm guessing it's not auto-scrolling.
Yeah, so you basically, it's a follow camera, and then the follow camera is to make mana. And I could almost do it with the engine. The engine isn't quite there for that, but you know, who knows? Maybe one day. Oh, dang, who's got the ripsaw?
And I'm learning slowly.
Got it.
There you go.
What's that?
Super weapon online. Don't squander it. Don't squander it. Oh yeah, this is absolutely my favorite weapon. Oh!
Nice dodge.
Nope.
Yeah, buddy.
Alright, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay.
That's what it's there for. I actually build some of these encounters with super weapons in mind, so if you don't have a reason to use it, then what's the point in having it?
Alright, back to Treebeard, okay. Interesting that we're back in the forest for 2 challenge stages? Is that what this is? 2 challenge stages now?
Yeah, it's mainly because I make copies of the level.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha.
But I figure with the final art sets that I will probably have quite a few challenge levels that are sort of advanced versions, remix versions of the art. Art's expensive. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to work on more creative usage. I haven't even encountered these guys yet either.
Yeah, I haven't seen the wheelie guy. Nah. I guess I did my best work on 1 HP. I'm about to die. That's a commentator's curse! Okay, yep. Oh yeah, show me the glitter bomb. Nope. Nope. Oh no. Oh, okay. Next. Oh yeah, light them up, light them up. There you go.
Nice. I'm slowly working
Whoa,
on making...
go on. Oh, okay, okay. This is a different guy, isn't he?
He's still a Trent demon. But yeah, so he's carrying those fairy nests at this point. I was like, ooh, like I discovered... I just sit down. Sometimes I don't want to build stuff. I just want to kind of design and play with the toys I made. And so sometimes these types of things happen because of it. Dude, nice.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just dumb luck that they keep getting the weapon best suited for the situation. I think it's just dumb luck.
It's utility. Some of the elements too. I know a lot of people that play. Your skill coming out of the gate is better than some other people that are playing the game. So it means you're sitting at higher level weapon tiers, which generally happens. But damage-wise, I just want to sounds good. Damage-wise, like I said, for the most part, I try to minimize damage so you're not just completely obliterating everything. Cedrian says, how do you handle the exploration component of a Metroidvania in a shooter? I'm guessing it's not auto-scrolling. Oh, yeah, so it's the camera's attached to the player, and it basically has what I call a look-ahead camera. So when you continue going, because you can flip going left or right or up and down in each of the axes. So the camera then pushes forward to give you a look-ahead for that. And then I think about it, it's almost like a Castlevania side of things, Symphony of Night, where you kind of have rooms that you clear, and they're all connected. So very Metroidvania. You could, if I had my druthers, when I was imagining, I've done a ton of magic with this. Oh, by this, so this guy is temporary AI generated art.
Wow.
You're the first person I've managed to play in this boss.
Yeah, what was the prompt? Spider...
I was a different prompt, which I used for Midjourney, and then I composited it together in Photoshop, and then ran it through Stable Diffusion to just get the sort of concepts together.
Oh god. Ain't no way. Ain't no way! Okay, yep.
Yeah, she's got some teeth. That's great.
Come on, go. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Yeah!
Alright. Alright. You've experienced all the content I have in the game.
That's amazing, dude.
Feel free if you want to play anything else, or if you want to replay any levels. I think you might be... I'll fix that. Instead of scroll forward, but whatever. You can hit that pause button and go back to the menu.
Okay. Wow. That was a lot of fun. That was awesome.
Thanks, man.
I can't... I like the creativity of the enemies, but certainly the uniqueness of their attack. I love the boss art. That's cool. Because there's such a variety of weapons. It's almost the replayability is there just to explore the weapons. Which is why I think having difficulties, especially for the hardcore, where it's like, instead of having 30 lives and 3 continues, I think superhero mode in Mega Man 11 is like 1 life. Might even be 1 hit KO, which would be nuts. I have yet to try it, because Mega Man 11 is my rustiest game anymore.
And it's not an easy game. It's punishing.
Yeah, no. It's punishing in the Inti creates kind of way, where we're going to have hits everywhere. I'm like, alright, just relax.
Yeah, totally. So a couple features I've got lined up. I'm just waiting for dev support on. So one is the ability to select difficulty. So then you can choose the lives, but also be able to set the hit points. Especially for earlier builds, I had a design in place where you started with 1 whole point or 1 HP, whatever. And as a result, then there you go, breaking the world.
That's right.
He's off. He's on his way. And so I built this overworld map in RPG Maker, and it's just temporary. But eventually,
I'm looking for secret stages. It's my job.
Totally. No, I appreciate that. There will be secrets and stuff like that in the overworld. And it's just it's all time and opportunity.
Oh, yep, you can absolutely fly. So what's this background? Oh, the parallax scrolling.
Uh-huh.
A lot going on. Okay. I'm sure there's nothing in the underworld.
There is nothing in the underworld, unless I left it in there by accident. Yeah, so basically it's one big texture.
Yeah.
Because everyone says he used RPG Maker to build the map for the first game project they did to Variety. Yeah. Decent little tool set. I had a prototype game that I was doing because I really wanted to, because I was doing with the streaming, I wanted to do a more Twitch-enabled streaming. And so here's the pitch. It's a real-time Final Fantasy combat system. It's all timer-based, so no pause. And then as people join your stream, they get added to your party, and so the idea is your party can be up to 99 people, and then the streamer controls your party, and then so you go into these classic style real-time combat scenarios, and then your chatters have to put in when their cooldowns are up, put in their chat commands to do their attacks or to buff the party or heal each other and things like that.
Really?
I got pretty far. Yeah, I got pretty far with it, at least from the prototype side. I built it in RPG Maker. I just didn't have any engineers for it at the end of the day, but it still lives in my brain. I actually wound up posting just a few weeks ago the videos. It's a prototype that I started 2 years ago. But the thing that I really enjoyed about it was that I was looking at it from like a Dungeons and Dragons game master kind of perspective, where me as a streamer, then I could, on my stream deck, push a button to spawn like an enemy or to remix a dungeon, or so I could pace out how things would happen and then have the ability to also orchestrate and play. So then create like these kind of dynamic, interactive experiences that would only benefit from being played like in a large group. It's like a mass battle, a mass sort of army battler kind of thing.
WoW raid kind of thing. That's cool. All right, yeah, I'm just
really enjoyed like cruising around.
Hell yeah, it's gotta be a secret somewhere. That's where I'm at.
Not yet. We're working on it.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna go through. Let me look at the tutorial one more time. I'll do the tutorial on level 1 again. Now that I'm more aware of what's happening and why. Evolution for the stars. Were the stars always green when you defeated the enemies, or is that just a way to get the?
They're always green.
Okay, I don't know why they were yellow in the tutorial.
Oh, those were different stars. So yeah, they're actually different a bit. They're different graphics.
Oh, I hit the stripper, the weapon stripper. I see how it works now.
Yeah, it's because I'm trying to keep you from doing all kinds of bad stuff. The thing, what I learned from this, and this is like 20 hours maybe of like development, so I'm going to wind up throwing it away. But basically, the more you lock things down, it's great for teaching. Here I'm teaching you where you're like the one place your ship can take damage, right? But because it's so locked down, it also creates its own issues where then people get confused because of that. Also, the whole text thing is really a mess. And the side effect of the way the engine's set up. So.
Oh, fly to here. There it goes.
Yeah, you already did it.
Okay. Engage weapon systems. What did I? Oh yeah, fake liquid weapons.
Yeah, I was really impressed that you were in the tutorial. You were definitely bouncing back and forth between weapons, which was cool.
And then I forgot about it when I got in the game. Raise your super gauge. Speaking of which,
yeah, I want to. Once I'm done with this, hundreds of hours later, I also have this SHMUP idea where I want you, like, your character is like a capital ship cruiser style, and then the idea is that you're a big warship, and then the world is a lot of like bullet hell style enemies, and then the gameplay is choosing the right kind of defensive measures to like press through the different parts of it. But can't start new things. Starting new things is easy. Finishing stuff is hard.
yeah, I totally understand.
And here I noticed that each time you just collect the power-ups, you're not actually firing, so you don't see that your power-ups change.
Oh yeah, if it's there, I'm gonna collect it regardless of if it's gonna hurt me in the end.
I don't think it hurts at all.
What was the other thing I was gonna say related to this? Oh, the super weapon, whereas you should hold it to maximize its effect. Otherwise, if you just go, it's going to go away completely. Is there could there be like an easier difficulty setting where instead of burning the super weapon on one go, they could burn it a little bit and still have some gauge left?
Yeah, I've got that also in my suggestion backlog. So I can't do it in the engine right now, but it's definitely an idea.
Okay.
In this version, this is also the first version where I just hooked up when you bullet cancel. So every bullet that you cancel creates a green soul bit that then also refeeds your super gauge.
Where do you weapon cancel? Oh, when you change weapons, is that what you're saying?
When you use your super, a bullet cancels.
Ah. Alright.
So it removes the bullets from screen.
Pacifist mode activated. Let's get it.
Oh shit! Yeah, let's get some.
Is it for the entire game or just this level?
Nah, you'll see. You got it.
Perfect. Well, my super's ready. That's interesting.
Yep, I figured I'd let you use it, so you can still use it. I got these little like temporary Buddhas that are flying into you. Those are technically keeping your weapon locked down to nothing. If you die, your weapon set decrements. So yeah, there's a bunch of like cheeky stuff going on.
Wait, do the cat things hurt you if you run into them?
No.
Oh, okay.
You got a bullet from one of the other guys.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is a bad idea.
It's a different game, right?
Sure is.
I got faith. I know you can do this. You technically have a super weapon too if you need it. And then, ta-da!
Okay, homing gatling. Whoa! I didn't realize it was homing. That's legit. Oh, okay, so that's the reward for being pacifist. You can get stronger weapons. That's cool as hell.
Nice, dude. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, it was like I said, that feature is brand new. That's just a couple days ago.
See, that's like a Crash Bandicoot kind of thing, where like the first playthrough you don't have a timer to go for like extra badges or whatever, but this could be like maybe not even a difficulty thing. This could be like a new game plus. If you have the same sprites but with more health, you like encourage people to look. You can go through it with the normal weapons, or if you just are a little patient, you get the stronger weapons, which equates to like the base game, but not a little bit harder than base game.
Yep, totally. Yeah, I definitely want to do a new game plus mode as well. Yeah, and what I'm going to do, I'll probably be a little bit more dogmatic about it, but each level I'm going to add like wherever I think the best kind of pacifist section will be, so then you can always have that kind of risk reward. And if you happen to be if you run out of weapons, it'll be a good way to kind of let you have more weapon choices. You took that lady in the face.
The big horn, or as the Navy would say, the ship's whistle that you're playing when the person comes in. Is that something that you tend to do with all the bosses? Because I didn't hear it for most of them, or is it just for this sea monster?
So yeah, this guy is just for the sea monster. So that's me just doing a tiny bit of sound design to give it kind of flavor. And but yeah, I think all the bosses will have cool like intros, and you can do a bit more of a remix for tracks and such like that. So.
Do you intend on having boss or enemy dialogue to like add to the story? No? Okay, so just like straight up encounters? Okay.
Yeah, I think the thing with dialogues is that they slow it down. And what I am planning to do is once I have the ability to script around it, and defeat like bosses in the world and things like that, I think I'll have a tiny bit of dialogue stuff, but I'm thinking that it'll mostly be on the overworld, so there you have no pressure, and you can look more if you want, so go into levels. Yeah, dialogue and animation, and like maybe I might do something there, but I won't be very sparing. I want to be a lot more old school and be kind of director-eyed in terms of like gameplay.
Okay, yeah, you were talking about playback before, so you may even have cutscenes to like introduce a story of it. I think a lot of it is just, you're the good guys. There's a lot of enemies. It didn't need to be a lot of backstory, but I think nowadays a lot of games lend themselves to, let's expand more on the story for those who want to learn more. Which is exactly what your YouTube channel is getting into.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what I want to do is have unlockables, basically, when you finish a level. And if you go back to the overworld, there's a couple things that are always, like, going back to the overworld is probably your best flow. So, because you can get more lives at that point, but then you'll have these unlockables that give you more context from the world.
Okay. Yeah, unlockables or even like achievements. You think you'll have like achievements at some point?
That would be great. The engine doesn't really support them at the moment. I mean, I could do like a custom version of it, but they like, for instance, they don't integrate with Steam achievements or anything like that. Maybe they will.
But I wonder, okay, if you're talking unlockables, which you're gonna do by the level, you can have an unlockable for the end boss to say, here's a mode that's unlocked. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And I also want to be able to unlock some of the challenges. So one of the things in the engine is that they don't support, there's no safety. There's no save state. So it's very, like when he built it, he was building it with more like an arcade shooter in mind. But I think a lot of the community members are building experiences like myself where it's, like this is more akin to, Illusion. Illusion stream. It's more akin to what I'm trying to say, like adventure games in that respect. So we'll see. We'll get there, I think, at some point.
Okay. So that was the beginning part of the stage is the only place with the pacifist mode right now?
Yep, that was my prototype actually for it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna add pacifist mode to each of the other stages. I think what I'll do is I'll leave it for each one. So the other side of it too, for people that are going for points, for score, pacifist mode gives you 500,000 points. So it's easily going to be like for you won't be able to make up the same amount of points in those sections. So.
Come on. There we go.
Infinity laser. Yeah, this is straight up
laser.
like a nod to Life Force.
Yeah, this laser's constant. Okay. Alright, where are we at now? Oh, yep. I like the spread. That's good. And that one too.
You're thinking about weapons, and then all of a sudden the game got unhinged for a second.
Yeah, see, like right here, there hasn't been a lot of music for a while.
Yeah, it should kick back in, because I'm only on Discord, so I don't use the game audio at the moment.
Yeah, no, I hear nothing. This is what I was getting at from before. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. I'll take a note.
Yeah, dude, absolute face melter. They use that sparkle blaster.
Yeah, some of the weapons have, they basically have pass-through, so you can get multiple enemies in the same shot. So typically the bottom weapon takes longer to charge up and use, so it's a little bit more risk-reward, but you get more damage out of it.
Yeah.
And you generally have to like aim a little bit more and figure out where you're at. Sick.
Yeah, no music at all.
Yeah, I might have broken it. You never know.
Nice. Yeah. Do you intend on having these prompts throughout each of the levels? Overworld? Or...
Yeah, for the most part. Because part of the design to be able to go back to the overworld allows you to get more information about like the context of what's going on. When you get to level 3 and that door opens, there you won't go back to the overworld because it's taking you to the boss world.
Okay, yeah, I was confused by that. I was like, oh, you can choose the boss from the overworld, but I didn't see a prompt. I didn't know if that was like a matter of completeness. Cass, what do you mean by a breakpoint? I'm sorry, I guess I meant... You could set a breakpoint right here. That'd help a lot.
Oh, he's just saying if you set like a breakpoint in code, I could then see what's going on to this point in the level and then figure out why the music isn't playing. Programming humor. See? Love it.
I think Nidney shared. I think Nidney shared this on the co-op stream. I think he did, or I'll make him share it again in a week or two. I was in a class where I had to write C+, and I was struggling, and I was like, I don't know why I can't get this program to work. I don't know why I can't do it. And it was either Cyber or Nidney. I think it was Nidney who was like, "You don't have an end of main," and I immediately hung up the phone. I didn't even say thank you. I was so mad. So I don't like programming. Not because of that experience, but there was a lot of things leading up to it. I have a stupid habit where I do programming and I'm like, okay, I haven't touched it in 10 minutes, but maybe it'll work now, like just on its own. I should have gone to the next level portal, see if they work or whatever, but I'm sure they're fine. But the keys are for what?
Those are just, it's temporary. They basically give you lives. So in this case. So
Okay.
yeah, there's a little bit of a sprite, but the sprite doesn't draw on top of, or there's a particle effect, and it doesn't draw on top of the player ship for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
And so it's hard to see that it's a 1-up. Which I'll take as a no. Let's see here.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, and maybe even stage select music out here. I suppose you go for the ambience because you hear just like the water, but maybe a little bit of an ambience there, aside from the sound.
Yeah, it's definitely a consideration point. Yeah, the problem is I have 4 or 5 tracks that I'm using, and I'm personally getting track fatigue. But yeah, it's in terms of composition. Yeah, given the size of the game, I'm gonna have a lot of music at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, I think like an ambient thing would be cooler.
Okay.
Beyond just beyond the ocean. Added music's actually pretty trivial. So.
Unless there's something I missed in any of the levels.
No man, that's it. You've played it all.
It's awesome, and I want to play more. I absolutely want to play more.
I drop 2 builds a month usually, and yeah, so once we have a good delta, we can redo one of these. That'd be great. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. This was a lot of fun. So cool. Like exit is just the game. I just exited the game. There's a nice black background, guys. I'm not going to leave quite yet. I don't know what we could do. I could throw out a few options. Better
says Mortis. Mortis.
Yeah, I know you're onto something. I don't think I can get through either chapter 2 or chapter 3.
So much.
Chapter 2 or chapter 3 in Faith in an hour. I don't think it'll work. I'm thinking of like a one-off thing. We could start something that I had planned in the latter part of the month as the Looker, which makes fun of the Witness. We could do 20XX, which is like a roguelike Mega Man thing, which I feel like I did that for a night. I barely remember it. So I kind of want to do that. I go, what is drop? What is drop? What are we dropping? Name drop? Well, how about your socials? You want to throw out your YouTube page again for people who want to learn more about your lore and all that stuff?
Sure. Yeah, it's just the youtube.com DrBossKey. OUTV. Yeah. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, if you want, you can also, if you want to check it out, I've got that animated short that I was talking about.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, so it's about 9-ish minutes. So if you here, I can dig to the link for you. 1 second.
Didn't he like the shirt I'm wearing? This is a shirt that then he had some big brain strats one day, years after we went to this place. This is my old stomping grounds. This is my favorite chicken place, period. It's on campus where I went. And he one day was just like, can I just have a shirt? And the guy was like, yeah, of course. We know the owner. We talk with him a lot.
Nice.
And I was like, the fuck did you get a shirt before I did? You didn't even go to this college. I was so jealous. So the next time I went, I was like, yo, dog, you better give me a shirt. So I'm ripping it out. Every time I look at the shirt, I start drooling. Like, it's just, oh, the chicken is so good. They put illicit drugs in there. I know they do. Like, there's no way it should taste that good.
Tasty chicken.
Tasty
Yes, I dropped you a link to the animated short if you want to check it out. And yeah, I'm full disclosure here. It's temp audio, temp music, temp sound. It's just not finished, but it's. I've got the all the shots lined up here.
Okay. Here, wait. Yes, I fixed the source. Outstanding. I don't have shit. Oh, I gotta do this. Here, let's come back. Let's go back to this. Bring this over. Come on, mouse. There you go. Bring that over.
And Ratsin, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It really help out the YouTube algorithms.
YouTube algorithms. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm so bad at YouTube subscribing.
Yeah, I hear you.
I gave him a shirt. Yeah.
It's all noise at some point.
Yeah, don't forget to ring the bell. God, I already subscribed to you. Fuck. It's another mouse click. All right, here we go.
Srevis, a mighty titan, was defeated long ago.
How's the audio chat?
Forced into slumber, his body became a sleeping mountain. His veins and organs became subterranean structures. His dark soul fed and fueled his followers with ancient magical secrets.
I'm gonna trust the
his dreams. He lured those seeking power
YouTube
into
closed
generational
captioning.
servitude. In his name, a vast undermountain city rose and fell to serve his awakening. This world will once again become my playground.
Become my playground.
The key art how it admits way into the game.
Broken in from the pieces, I will suck out its succulent life force. Srivis's worshippers, suckling from his essence, grew in strength, giving birth to the creation of Gondis, guardian of the dark wellspring.
Or Whale Spring.
Yeah, I know. YouTube, try harder, please.
The 6 magi of Srivis, tuned to the demonic titan's essence, worked to shape Gondis from the lost elemental magics, giving life to Gondis by transmuting demonic
This is
essence
the
into
chamber you
inanimate.
fight Gondis in.
The
Yeah,
champion
it
of Srivis was born. Gondis, you exist to guard this dark wellspring until the return of the Almighty. Many will be drawn here to stop our master, and you will add them to our growing power. For 1,000 years, Draemvion, Srivis's great city, grew as all things do when nurtured with purpose. Gondis grew in power while guarding the dark spring. His amassed power attracted the parasitic fairy Neda, and their love forever transformed them. Hundreds of adventurers fell to Srivis's unbeatable champions. The time draws near for my followers to join me in the graves. Their price is paid in the chaos of madness. Gondis, guard my awakening.
So it was Gondas attacking that city? Is that what it was?
That was the Srivis the Titan. He basically destroyed all his followers to try to wake up.
Oh, okay.
And only Gondis and Neda were afterwards.
Yes, indeed. Just ahead of me until you're free. Come, follow me. Neda, you have pleased me in the lands of the dark wellspring. Come forth to collect your reward.
Reward, not yours.
These people were nothing.
Yeah, some of these captions are
I
funny.
heard my loving whisper. They promised to free me from the dream and failed. And they were weak where you are strong, my champions. Come forward and sit upon your thrones.
I like that she's got her little throne.
Yeah,
DrBossKey looks around at what appears to be an old battleground. He
Bossky.
wrinkles his nose at the smell of countless dead long rotted away, their adventuring gears serving as grave markers. DrBossKey says, "What is this place you have claimed so many?" Larkin replied, "This is the place where I was unwilling to leave and transformed. That fairy told us that there is great power here, and she wasn't wrong." So, who was this us? You mean you were not always haunted adventuring gear? Laugh it up, DBK. I was once a great hero leading a party of comrades.
But this elemental demon committed us to this tomb of broken hopes. Let's see if you laugh when you see what I've seen. Warning taken. Thanks, Larkin. Let's face down this demon. Gondis looks at DBK and says, I tire of these vermin interrupting us.
This one's not a normal rat.
With the capacity to love, why do you allow yourself to harvest for corruption?
What do you know of this? You are simply like all the rest, drawn to the power. It is time for you to join our collection. Hero.
With this one fed to Master Sreemus, he will surely wake from this living dream.
Oh wow, okay. So he transformed into this like weird beast thing? Like his legs were beast?
Yeah, he gets digigrade legs. Part of the lore is that so as DrBossKey defeats the boss monsters, they basically become these sentient weapons. And so Larkin is his living lab cloak, and basically what it does is it gives him other powers. So one of his powers are to transform his legs into these digigrade legs. And so that weapon he used there also came from defeating another boss monster called Karakus.
Okay. That's very, what do you call it? Soul Edge kind of thing? Like Soul Calibur?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a lot of very much like video game tropes all over this thing.
Yeah.
Which is no surprise considering like what all the video games and animation and art that I've stuffed in my brain over time. So
Right,
cool, man. I appreciate you checking it out.
yeah, no problem. I'm just messing with my volume stuff. I'll change that in a sec. Dude, thank you so much for coming on here, dude. It's like your first time to stream in any, maybe not in any way, shape, or capacity, but it's good to hear your voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So, pursuing this project, you're certainly in the throes of it now. When last I saw you, you were getting a house, you were focusing on other projects, work was really spinning up. So, is there a timeline for you coming back to Twitch? Or are you just focusing on current efforts?
Yeah, maybe sometime next year, maybe mid next year or something like that. I wouldn't say never, but I think the having the extra focus, because as a streamer, it's tough to divide your attention when you want to be creative and stream at the same time. So
Yeah.
I could see a place where I could be doing more of my own play tests and then to do them on Twitch and have more just an interaction with the stream and the viewers and things like that as well. But so maybe mid next year, we'll see. The thing is, there's no shortage of just things I want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need about half a dozen of me to get some of these things done.
I need a half a dozen me to get through my gaming log. Gaming backlog.
Yeah, mine is so deep, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad. Awesome, dude. Thank you again. And
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
yeah, let's do this again. Like I said, a few versions down the road, and I'll monitor, not from afar. I'll certainly watch over updates and things like that, but I probably won't play a lot of them because I want to have that organic experience live. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. No worries there. One of the most remarkable things is that I'm so humbled to know so many streamer friends that are still streaming and making it happen. So I understand the value of being able to have these experiences. Look, the more time that goes by, the more the game changes and improves. I've got a good laundry list of things that I picked up from this playtest. So thank you very much for that.
yeah,
And
no problem.
no, perfect. And we'll figure out another time to do this, especially with holidays coming. That means I get to have time off of the day job and I get to jam even deeper
Sweet.
through basically after the game.
Awesome, dude. All right. I know Kess asked some questions. I'm treating it like a meeting. I'm going to go around the horn, make sure nobody has any questions. I'll throw it out the chat if there's anything else that you want to ask DrBossKey while he's here. Otherwise, we're good to go here. Hearing nothing, we'll close the minutes and we'll send it out from here. I can't believe I'm bringing work vernacular in here. Anyway, man.
It's how we get things done. All right, man. I appreciate you, Ratsin. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Thanks,
dude.
everybody.
See ya.